coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.
Yeah. Salute, man. Shout out to everybody out there on Team Banky Pound, man. I appreciate the love. Boom, I appreciate the support. One Nation. TBP Nation. That's it, man. Under groove, getting down just for the fun of it. What's up, man? Let's go. Let's get it. We back up in here again, man. One more again, pushing this positivity, man. Trying to get these people on the right track, man. Trying to let them know penitentiary is not where you want to go. Please believe me, man. The beefs, the drama, the violence, the chaos, the tomfoolery, the larceny, the skullduggery, the flimflammery is at an all-time high in the penitentiary. So if you want to live up under them conditions, then be my guest, man. Go ahead and come on in, man. They're going to welcome you in there with open arms, you heard? And Bethlehem's, you dig? Man, listen, I'm going to tell y'all another one of these barbershop chronicles, man. These barbershop wars. Everything that goes down in the barbershop ain't really got nothing to do with the haircuts. It doesn't. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it do, but not all of it. It's just the entitlement, the larceny, the flammery, and all the stuff that goes around with the barbershop is crazy. Okay. Case in point. When you got, you know, something you trying to hide, something you trying to bama, something you trying not to get caught with, you try to find, you know, a good bama spot. A bama means, you know, not that bama, you know, the DC. I don't know who he is. But they also, you know, Virginia dudes call a bama a hiding place. DC, we call a bama an individual. You know? This, you know, yeah, he ain't, you know what I'm saying? He ain't on point, but he think he on point. So dudes will try to find a good bama somewhere to hide something right. Now, a lot of people will try to use that barbershop because it's a commonplace area that cannot be attributed to them. When you hide something, if anything get found in your cell, no matter what it is or where it is in your cell, they can find you guilty of that, period, point blank. So if you got the Bethlehem, you got some drugs, you got whatever the case it may be, you gonna try to hide it outside of your cell if you know. You know what I'm saying? Because if it get found inside your cell, then you gonna be liable for that, no matter whether you claim it or not. If don't nobody claim it, they gonna give it to both cell partners. They can find one Bethlehem in your cell, and he don't claim it, and you don't claim it, both of y'all getting that charge, and you going to jail ASAP. Do not pass go. Probably gonna get shipped and everything. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that goes. So when you gotta sell it, you gotta make the bar understood, man. If you got something in here, man, it's yours. You got to claim that. You know what I'm saying? Now that's a fine line, because dudes be like, if they come in there and they find something, and then a dude be like, man, that ain't mine, and you know it's his. You can't say it's his. You see what I'm saying? Because now you tell it. You heard me? So it's crazy. It's crazy politics and rules in the penitentiary. They different rules than on the street. You know what I'm saying? You know it's not yours. But if you say that, then you tell it. But if you don't say that, you're going to take that case. You see what I'm saying? So that's why you got to know who you selling up with too. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if I take that case, if they come in there and they find that Joan is mine, I'm going to hide it where I don't think it could be found. But if they do find it, I'm going to say it's mine, though. I'm not going to let you get no case and you ain't earned that case. I'm not going to do that. So if you do that to me, I promise you, on sight, once it's been said and determined, because they're going to ask you 2 or 3 times. Ain't that one of y'all gonna claim it? Ain't that one of y'all claim it? And I'm just going to look. If he don't claim it and I know it, I'm taking off. I'm going to jail right now. I got the Bethlehem charge and I got an assault charge. I'm taking off on you. Straight up. I don't care who you is. I don't care if you've been my cellie for 10 years. I don't care. If Dixon did it, I'm taking off on him. Straight up. I ain't, you know what I'm saying? But I know he's not going to do that. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say you got to know who you sell up with. Now, with that in mind, So you got jokers trying to find spots outside the cell to hide that joint at, somewhere that they can get to it. You know what I'm saying? But they ain't got to claim it if it ain't theirs. I mean, if they don't get caught with it, right? So you'll have a lot of Bama's try to sneak in the barbershop and hide stuff, right? It got to the point where I go in the barbershop, when they open the doors for me and I go in the bar, I got to shake the joint down. I literally got to shake. I got to look through everything or whatever, because dudes are sneaking there and trying to hide stuff because it's a common place area that can't be attributed to them. But it could be attributed to me. Why? Because the people gonna say I'm the only one that got access to it besides the police. Police ain't gonna have no knife in here. Police ain't gonna have no drugs in here, which is a lie. But it really is. That's another story. But police ain't gonna have no drugs in here. It got to be yours. So I'm going down for that. So you not hiding nothing in that barbershop, man. I'm not gonna allow that. Not while I work in the barbershop. I'm not gonna allow that. You know what I'm saying? Now, then you got the fine line where Bama's gonna say, "Oh, you acting like you state struck," or you know, they might go so far as to say, "Oh man, that's police stuff. You telling the dude where he can't. You don't own this state property, man." Okay. First of all, you better not let me hear you say that. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm taking off on you. Straight up, I'm taking off on you. And second of all, that's where the thin line come in at. You know what I'm saying? Come on, what you want me to do? You think I'm going to take a charge for you? You think I'm going to get locked up? You think I'm going to mess my whole program up just so you can be safe? Man, Negro, you crazy. Crazy, right? You know, and they crazy in there like that. You got dudes that think like that. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll whisper, they be whispering, "Oh man, I ain't gonna let you use the Clippers, man. They ain't gonna, you know, he stays struggling." They don't say that to me, but I know they say it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, because I gotta pay for the Clippers. Is you gonna pay for them? No, you not. So I'm not gonna do that. They gonna fire me if you get caught using the Clippers. Is you gonna give me that $60 a month? No, you not. So you not getting them. So you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna protect me. I'm gonna do what's right for me. And you gonna have some Bama's that's gonna try to label it and woo, but they whisper because they know I ain't playing. You ain't gonna say no crazy stuff to me or about me verbally in my presence. I'm not gonna tolerate that. I got zero tolerance for that. If you say it, stand on it. If you stand on it, try to make you lay on it. Straight up, man. That's how I go. So I go in the barbershop. When I'm in the barbershop, I might take a break. I might go use the bathroom. You know, I might go fix me a hot cup of coffee or something like that. So I might leave up out there 15, 20, sometimes 30 minutes at a time. All depends, right? Now, the CO job is not to let nobody go up there if I ain't up there, right? But this is how they get by that. They'll say, hit the door. It's up at the top. They'll say, hit the door. I'm going back here, holler at my counselor. Or they'll say, hit the door. They'll grab a laundry bag, throw it over their shoulder, hit the door. I'm getting ready to get my laundry to the laundry man. Because up there, you got a counselor's over here, a counselor's over here. You got the washer and dryer right there, and you got a laundry man up there who wash and dry clothes for the part all day. They alternate days. This side dude got this day, that side got this day. Woo. They up there. And the same thing with the barbershop. The dude on the other side got the barbershop on certain times, and I got the barbershop on certain times. You see what I'm saying? So that's how they go. So whoever is authorized to be up there, only people authorized to be up there is the barber, the laundryman, and the two counselors, right? The laundryman do not supposed to go in the barbershop, and the barbershop dude don't supposed to be messing with that wash and dry. That's how the rules go. Now, when the barber is up there, he can call inmates up there, convicts up there, say send two people or send such. You could say it by name. Send cell 42 up here to get a haircut, right? They gonna do that. All right, now if you go up there fake balling, I ain't up there. I'm in my room. You go up there fake balling with a laundry bag. So I'm taking my laundry, and she opened the door or he opened the door. You go back there. You know what I'm saying? Fake like you getting your laundry bag in the clothes, and you go up in the barbershop because it's open. You go up in the barbershop, you can hide something up in there because you think the people get ready to come shake you down, or you think they get ready to do a shakedown, or you know what I'm saying, you think you hot, or whatever the case may be. So now you go up in there and you do that, and then 2 days later, something, they just all of a sudden want to come look in the barbershop. They look around the barbershop and they find a pound of weed. Who you think they will get a weed charge to? So what I'm gonna say? It ain't mine. They say it ain't yours. Well, you the only one to work up here. It got to be yours. You know what I'm saying? It got to be yours. They're gonna lock me up and they're gonna lock the other Bob up on the other side. It's got to be one of ours. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna claim it because it ain't mine. He not gonna claim it because it ain't his. So we both going to jail. We both losing our job. See what I'm saying? Now I don't know what this Bama gonna do. I don't know what his rules and regulations is. This is why I shake the barbershop down when I go in there. So I make sure it ain't nothing up there. He might have let somebody put some up there. He might have put some up there. If I find out he got something hid up in there, I'm gonna get it, give it, ask him is it his. He said, yeah, it's his. I'm gonna give it back to him and I'm gonna give him the business. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give him the business. You know what I'm saying? Because you trying to put me in harm's way. Straight up. That's just, I don't care, you know, what nobody think. They say, oh, yeah, you wrong. I don't care. I'm living this life. I'm doing what I supposed to do that I feel is right. So yeah, that's how I was current. So yeah, you had dudes probably whispering saying, man, oh, he stay struck. Man, I ain't stay struck. I'm me struck. I'm gonna take care of me, right? So I go one day, I'm going down there to fix me a cup of coffee, use the bathroom, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? I might have jumped on the phone for a minute or two, so I'm gone for a minute. But when I go back up there, right? I done seen two people go back that joint, right, with laundry bags. I seen them because I'm on the phone, but I can see when you go up that joint, right? So I go back there. When I get back in there, I go through the joint. Something just told me, look around, look up, don't look down, look around. You did. So I started looking around. I checked the little cabinet because they got an opening under the bottom where they got little whatever, you know, knickknacks or whatever down there, you know, chemicals and stuff like that. So I look down there, moving stuff around, boom, put my hand all up there, feel all around. I know all the little spots because I done used some sometime, but only when I'm in there. I'm not gonna leave it in there because I'm not gonna do the same thing to the next man that I don't want done. You see what I'm saying? And if I did do it and they find it, I'm not gonna let them go down. I'm gonna say, nah, that's mine, dog. I put that up there. I'm hoping that don't happen, but if it do happen, I got to stand on that. I got to take that, and I'm gonna take it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what the next man gonna do, so I ain't going for it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he got the same morals and principles I got. I ain't going for it. You know what I'm saying? So I look around. So I check everything, man. I check the little crevices. I get up there, check the little things up on the top of the ceiling. You can lift the little, you know, little joint up, put some up. I check all that, right? So then I go check the paper towel dispenser. Is a paper towel dispenser on the wall. So you could open that joint up and put something behind it. Man, I pull that joint open and look, man, got a Bethlehem up in that joint. I'm like, oh, but no, sir. No, sir, Bob. That's going to send you to the mountains. You know what I'm saying? That's going to send you to Wise Ridge, Red Onion. Do not pass go. No, sir. So I'm like, oh, I know this one up here because I checked the joint this morning. So I know somebody just put it up here. I know it. So I come out. I'm mad. I'm hot as fish grease. You hear me? I come out. I go to the laundry dude. I said, hey, yo, have you been up in here? He said, no. I said, have you been up in here, y'all? He said, no, man, what you talking about? I said, okay, I'm just asking. Did you go up in here? He said, nah. I said, boom. All right. I go out. I get the door open. I go out. I go downstairs, right? I go to the first dude that I seen go back there, right? I ain't gonna ask him who came back here, who went up in there, because that would put him in a position to be telling. I ain't gonna do that. I go to the first dude. I said, look, bro, let me holler at you for a minute. He said, what's up? I said, you been up there in that barbershop? He said, no. I said, bro, did you go in that barbershop, man? He said, nah, man, I came up there, took my laundry, and put my laundry up there, man. You can ask what's name. He was starting to get an attitude, which was pissing me off, but I could understand be approaching a grown man, asking him, you know what I'm saying? But I got reason, you know what I'm saying? And I'm going to stand on that. So he said, well, that's all I did, man. What are you talking about? I said, okay, pipe down. Pipe down. I just asked you a question. I mean, but what you asked me that for? I asked for a reason. What reason? I said, that's irrelevant. You ain't go up in there. You ain't go up in there. That's what you saying? He said, that's what I said. I said, yeah, okay then. So I walk away from him. Now I already got a potential problem with this bound. You know what I'm saying? So, and I'm going to deal with it if I got to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? So, boom, I go to the other dude. I go to him. I say, hey, let me holler at you for a minute, champ. He said, what's up? Young dude, little size on him, little cold Bama though. He be into a little, boom. So I said, hey yo, I saw you go up there with your laundry, but I said, did you go up in the barbershop? He said, why? I said, did you go up in the barbershop? He said, what's up, man? I said, you leave something up in there? He said, yeah, I got something up in there. I'm hiding it. I said, yeah, nah, you need to come get that, player. He said, why? I said, because you need to come get that, player. And I turn around and I just walk off. You know what I'm saying? So, boom, I respect the fact that he said it was his. So, I'm going back up to the shop. I go back up to the shop. I'm up there. I'm really, shit, yeah, I'm burning now. You know, so I'm up in that joint. I'm waiting. He take about 10 minutes. He come up the joint, right? And he come up the joint, he bent the corner. He said, man, what's up? I said, man, why you put that up in here, Joe? He said, cause I ain't trying to get caught with it, man. I got something going on. Dude might send the people to my cell. I ain't trying to get caught with it. I said, so what you trying? Let me get caught with it? He said, you ain't gonna get caught with it. This is the barbershop. You ain't got it on you. Man, I'm looking at this joke like, is you stupid? Is you dumb? You know what I'm saying? I said, bro, I work in here. If they find it in here, they gonna say it's mine. Is you gonna claim it? Is you gonna say it's yours? He said, nah, I ain't what I'm gonna say it's mine for. That's why I put it up here. So I will do it. I said, so you gonna put it up here knowing I work up here, and if they find it, you want me to act like it's mine? He said, no, you can say it ain't yours. I said, man, hey, bro, hey, you gotta take this up out here. And don't come up here no more. Don't come ask for no haircut. Don't bring nothing up here. He talking about, man, you talking about the barbershop. This ain't your barbershop. This state. I say, get it up out of here. He said, man, whatever, man. So boom, I grab the junk. I give it to him. Yeah, I give it to him. You know what I'm saying? So now he got an actual joint in his hand. So he said, man, you tripping about the barbershop. Now he get a little bolder. You know what I'm saying? You tripping about the barbershop, y'all. Like you own this joint, man. You don't own this joint, man. This state property, man. I'm trying to look out for me. I said, man, yeah, F you. You know what I'm saying? He said, what? I said, you heard what I said. He said, man, hey, man, I ain't disrespect you. I said, and you not gonna disrespect me. And you not. You know what I'm saying? He said, hey, Bank, man, I ain't no sucker. I said, I don't care what you is. I ain't there one either. You think you gonna leave that joint up in here? I said, man, come on back up in here, because I ain't trying to hurt the counselors or nobody get in my business. So he come back in the barber shop. I close the door. So we up in this joint. So I know he got the joint on. You know what I'm saying? So I said, let me tell you something, man. I don't know who you think I am. I don't know what they told you or what you heard. He said, man, I don't care nothing about that. I said, I don't care nothing about you. I don't care nothing about you. And if you come up here and you violate up in here, you can call it state struck, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to deal with you, and I'm going to deal with anybody else who come up here and put something up here and going to think they're going to leave it on me. He said, man, whatever, man. I said, whatever. What you want to do, youngin? What you want to do? He said, whatever you want to do. I said, do something then. You got it on you. Use it. Use it. And at the time I'm saying that, this between us, I ain't want him to use it. That joke was big. But I'm in that mode, you know what I'm saying? And in my mind, I'm thinking, like, simultaneously, a lot of things going through my mind, but I'm like, man, this man put his joint out. If he even act like he gonna, you know, if he make, I'm looking for muscle twitches, facial expression, anything. If he act like he gonna up that joint, I'm gonna throw these joints as fast as I ever threw them in my life. I'm already in position. I'm cocked and ready. You know what I'm saying? He said, man, I ain't trying to have no beef with you, man, but I ain't scared of you. I said, I don't care if you is or not. I'm telling you how I feel, bro. You not gonna do that. Nobody gonna do that. I don't care who you roll with. I don't care none of that. You ain't gonna find no joker down there that's gonna tell you they gonna come up here and do what they want to do up in here. You understand me? And he was like, man, you tripping. I said, whatever you want to do, Playboy, I'm right here. But you ain't welcome up here no more. Don't come up here. You can go tell your buddies. You can tell your friends. And I'm going to tell you like this. If you get to whispering and saying stuff about me that you can't say in my face right now, I'm coming to see you. So whatever you got to say it now. You know what I'm saying? He said, and I'm looking for the flinch. I'm looking for the movement, because this Bama could just say, you know, F it all. You know, so I'm looking. Right? Yeah, I'm nervous, but he can't see it. You know what I'm saying? You got to be nervous. You might get stabbed. You might get killed. You know what I'm saying? I think I can take him with the joint, but who knows? Who knows? You know what I'm saying? But my adrenaline, my frustration, my anger is getting the best of me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got the Jonah on me. I ain't got it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know they come up there from time to time, and I have got you know charges before, so they'll come in there randomly not all the time. Hey, get up, let me check you out. You know, so I know better. You know what I'm saying? And at the time, I ain't got no issue with nobody. This just happened. So he's sitting there and he thinking. I know I can see his brain moving like, should I try this joke or not? What I do? And I'm looking at him like, come on with it. Come on with it. And he said, you got that. You got that. You got that. I said, yeah, okay. He said, you got that. You got it. I said, yeah, okay. Yeah, have a good day. He turned around and walk on out, right? And he probably was huffing and puffing under his breath, but I ain't care. You know what I'm saying? I ain't care. When he left, I sat in the barber chair, and I'm just sitting in that joint like this. I'm like, man, my heart was pounding. And I said, man, you tripping. Not for what I did. I stand on what I did. I'm tripping for pressing him when I know he got a joint on him. I'm tripping for putting the joint in his hand before I pressed him. You know what I'm saying? I could have pressed him and see if he wanted to rumble while the joint, right there. You know what I'm saying? But I done gave him the joint back and I'm pressing. You know what I'm saying? And that was stupid. You know what I'm saying? Because you could scare Bama into killing you. Please believe that. You can scare Bama into killing you. You understand me? And I'm telling you, he had a big joint. You know what I'm saying? The joke was in the paper towel joint. The joke had to be sideways. The joke was like this because the joke was so long. And I'm like, ooh, Lord. So boom, that was crazy. And then I thought about Chucky, man. It just, my mind went back to Chucky. You know what I'm saying? And when he walked up in there on Towns, and Towns had that joint in his hand, and Chucky was pressing him. And I was like, I can remember in my mind saying, man, Chucky is crazy. I remember that joint. And I thought about that. And then I was saying, because this is years and years later, and I'm saying to myself, man, Bank, you is crazy, man. But I don't know. I don't know what made me do it like that. It was just in the spare of the moment, man. I was just mad. I felt like the Bama was trying to, play me. You know what I'm saying? And to be honest with you, who knows? He didn't, but who knows? I ain't had no issue with him until then. But Obama have an issue with you and do that. And then go write a note and tell the people that's up there that I got it up there. You're not going to be able to get around that. You're not going to be able to get around that. You can't, what you going to say? Man, somebody put that up there and set me up. They're going to say, who? Who? Who did it? And you tell it. Now you tell it. And who did it? See what I'm saying? Even if you don't call a name, they're going to say, you tell them. Man, you better try to say somebody put it up there and set them up. See what I'm saying? You cannot win. So you got to stand on your own to make sure that the dudes, the convicts, the inmates respect you in your position. You got to do that. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what you up against. You know that it ain't no way out of this type of stuff besides telling. And you know that breaks your principles, so you can't do that. So what else can you do besides set your own rules and enforce them with an iron fist? No matter if they're going to call you state struck, no matter, because they ain't going to call you that to your face. They ain't going to call that to your face, but I'm not going to sit there and let you just be able to set me up and I get locked up and I get shipped and I get transferred and I get set back, all this just because you want to be safe. Man, you tripping. I ain't going to break my legs so you can walk. Man, I'll break yours. I'll break yours. I break mine. Break my legs so you can walk. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Yeah, man, that's the type of stuff that I say, like, you got to go through. And just to, you know what I'm saying, to be messing with that barbershop stuff. Then you got some weak dudes to get a barber job just because they know how to cut hair. Man, they be getting caught up like that. I know Joe's got locked up. I know Joe got locked up like that for the phone. Joe hit the phone up there. He went down for a phone. He ain't even capable of getting a phone. You know what I'm saying? But he went down for the phone and got transferred. And I know the Bama who would put it back there. You know, I believe I do. I mean, I ain't got no concrete proof, but I know who can have a phone and who not. I know who got the pizzazz, the finesse to get a phone. You know what I'm saying? And I can read body language. I can see when it happened and they turn them off and come get them and lock them up. I can see when we come out the pod, I can look at the dudes and tell whose it was, who missing it. You see what I'm saying? But he ain't speak up. He ain't gonna say nothing. So those type of things like that, man, can go down, man. And you gonna be super duper late, man. Phone, you going in the mountains and you getting the street charge. The Bethlehem, you going in the mountains. You know what I'm saying? Drugs, you going in the mountains and you gonna go to court. You going to street court. I'm supposed to take all that just so you could be safe. Man, I'd rather go to the mountains and be fighting a attempted murder charge. Personally, I'd rather go fight that. Man, you tripping. But anyway, y'all tell me if you think I'm right or wrong. I don't know. You know, you got your own opinion. I don't get offended because I'm still going to do it the same way and would have did it the same way. But I want to hear your opinion. Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I tripping? You know, let me know. Talk to me, baby. I talk back. You heard me? TBP Nation, man, we out here. I'm going to keep bringing this heat, man. You just got to keep your stove on. You understand me? Man, y'all be safe, be smart, make good decisions, man. And duck them hooks, man. Bama will set you up, man. And you can't do nothing about it. Protect your neck.
The Banky special.
Yeah.
Pure deliciousness.
Pure deliciousness, man. My name is Banky, man. Everybody calls me Banky. That's the name that I got from my grandmother when I was young. I'm coming out here after 30 years. Yeah, I ain't got nothing, but I'm gonna have something because I'm rich in personality, you know, and I'm rich in love. My family love me, and that's really all that counts.